The news hit every screen, from smartphones to giant billboards. Aliens had made contact. The initial message was simple yet baffling. We come in peace. We don't kill humans. In a global broadcast, the president addressed the world. We must remain calm and united. We will approach this situation with caution and hope. Amid the frenzy, Dr. Emily Carter, a leading scientist in astrophysics, was summoned to a secret government facility. She joined a team tasked with the first direct communication with the aliens. Inside the facility, a holographic image of an alien appeared. It had a slender, elongated body, and its skin shimmered like a rainbow. "Greetings," it said in perfect English. "I am Zorak, an envoy of the Galactic Union." Emily stepped forward, her heart pounding. "I'm Dr. Emily Carter. Why have you come to Earth?" Zorak's expressionless face somehow conveyed a sense of warmth. "We have observed your species for centuries. Now we offer our knowledge and seek to form an alliance." Skepticism hung in the air. General Harris, a stern figure in the room, voiced the concern. "And why should we trust you?" Zorak responded calmly. "Our civilization abhors violence. We adhere to a strict code. We don't kill humans or any sentient beings. Our purpose is to share knowledge and aid in your development." Days turned into weeks as humanity adjusted to the presence of the aliens. The global community was divided. Some welcomed the visitors, while others were suspicious. Emily found herself spending more time with Zorak, trying to understand his species. Their conversations ranged from technology to philosophy. Despite the initial apprehension, a bond formed between them. One evening, as they walked through the facility's garden, Emily asked, "Zorak, what made your people decide not to harm other sentient beings?" Zorak paused, the glow of the evening sun reflecting off his skin. "We learned through millennia that violence leads to destruction. Our survival depended on cooperation and peace. We hope to share this wisdom with your people." Emily nodded, sensing the sincerity in his words. "I believe you, Zorak, but convincing everyone else won't be easy." Zorak's eyes seemed to shimmer with determination. "Then we shall work together to prove it." Their journey had just begun, and the future of both species hung in the balance. As the days passed, the world continued to grapple with the reality of the alien visitors. Governments around the globe scrambled to establish diplomatic relations, while the public opinion remained sharply divided. Some hailed the aliens as benevolent saviors, others viewed them with deep mistrust. In the secure government facility, Emily and Zorak worked tirelessly. Their conversations deepened, moving from scientific discussions to more personal topics. Emily was fascinated by the intricacies of Zorak's culture and the rich history of the Galactic Union. One afternoon, during a meeting with international delegates, an urgent message arrived. A small, radical human faction calling themselves the Earth First Movement had begun a campaign to expel the aliens by any means necessary. They believed that Zorak's message of peace was a cover for more sinister intentions. "We must act swiftly," General Harris stated, his voice grim. "This group is well-armed and determined. They could disrupt everything we've been working towards." Emily turned to Zorak, worry etched on her face. "We need to show them that your intentions are pure, that you truly want peace." Zorak nodded. "I understand. What can we do to earn their trust?" Emily pondered for a moment. "We need to be transparent. Let's organize a public forum where people can ask you questions directly. If they see and hear you for themselves, it might ease their fears." The idea was met with mixed reactions, but the urgency of the situation left little choice. A large auditorium was chosen as the venue, and security was tightened to the highest levels. The day of the forum arrived. The room was packed with journalists, scientists, and civilians. The atmosphere was tense. As Zorak took the stage, a hush fell over the crowd. "Greetings, people of Earth," Zorak began. "I understand your fears and suspicions, but know this, we are here to help, not to harm. We have much to offer, and we seek only to share our knowledge and learn from you in return." The questions came quickly, some hostile, others curious. Zorak answered each one with calm precision, never once faltering. Emily watched from the sidelines, her heart racing. This was their chance to sway public opinion. As the forum progressed, a man in the back of the room stood up. His face was stern, his voice sharp. "How can we believe you? What proof do we have that you're not here to conquer us?" Zorak's gaze met the man's. "We offer proof in the form of knowledge and technology. We have shared medical advancements that can cure diseases and provided clean energy solutions. We seek mutual growth, not domination." The man seemed unconvinced, but others in the crowd began to nod. Slowly, the tension in the room began to ease. By the end of the forum, there was a noticeable shift in the atmosphere. Many left with a sense of cautious optimism. Back at the facility, Emily and Zorak reviewed the day's events. "I think it went well," Emily said, a small smile playing on her lips. Zorak inclined his head. "It is a start. Trust is not built in a day, but today we have taken an important step." But their relief was short-lived. That night, as Emily walked through the facility's halls, she overheard a heated conversation between two security personnel. They spoke of intercepted communications, suggesting the Earth First movement was planning something drastic. Emily's heart sank. She rushed to find Zorak. "We have a new problem," she said, breathless. "The radicals are planning an attack. We need to act now." Zorak's expression hardened. "Then we must prepare. Together we can overcome this threat." The challenge before them was immense, but Emily and Zorak were determined to prove that peace was possible, no matter the cost. Emily and Zorak gathered their team immediately, setting in motion a series of defensive measures. The facility's security was doubled, and additional personnel were called in to handle the heightened threat. Emily could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on her, but Zorak's calm demeanor provided a surprising source of strength. General Harris called an urgent meeting. "We've identified the leaders of the Earth First movement," he said, displaying images of a few individuals on the screen. "Our intel suggests they're planning a major attack within the next 48 hours. We need to prevent any violence," Emily insisted. "We can't afford to escalate the situation." General Harris nodded. "We're working on neutralizing the threat, but we also need to prepare for the worst. Any ideas?" Zorak stepped forward. "In my experience, open communication and transparency can sometimes diffuse even the most volatile situations. Perhaps we can reach out directly to their leaders and offer a dialogue." The room fell silent as everyone considered the suggestion. It was risky, but Emily could see the logic behind it. "We have nothing to lose by trying," she said. "We need to show them we're willing to listen and address their concerns." After a tense discussion, the plan was set. A secure line of communication was established, and an invitation for dialogue was sent to the Earth First movement's leaders. Hours passed with no response, each minute increasing the tension within the facility. Finally, a reply came through. The leaders agreed to a meeting, but on their terms, a remote location with minimal security and no weapons. It was a dangerous proposition, but one they couldn't refuse. The next day, Emily, Zorak, and a small contingent of negotiators traveled to the agreed-upon location, an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. As they approached, they could see the Earth First movement members waiting, their expressions grim and wary. Emily took a deep breath and stepped forward, Zorak at her side. "We're here to talk," she said, trying to project confidence. "We want to understand your concerns and find a peaceful resolution." One of the leaders, a tall man with a stern face, stepped forward. "We don't trust your alien friend," he said bluntly. "How do we know this isn't a trap?" Zorak raised his hands in a gesture of peace. "We have no intention of harming you. We are here to listen and to prove that our intentions are genuine. What can we do to earn your trust?" The man hesitated, glancing at his companions. "We've seen your technology. It's impressive. But how do we know you won't use it against us?" Emily took a step closer. "The technology we've shared so far has been for the betterment of humanity. Medical advancements, clean energy. We've held nothing back. We want to work together to solve the problems our world faces." Another leader, a woman with a determined expression, spoke up. "We've been burned before. Governments promise one thing and do another. How can we believe this time is different?" Zorak's voice was steady. "We understand your fears. Our code forbids us from harming any sentient beings. We offer our knowledge freely and ask for nothing in return but friendship and cooperation." The tension in the air was palpable. Emily could see the skepticism in their eyes, but also a glimmer of hope. The leaders conferred quietly among themselves before turning back to Emily and Zorak. "We need proof," the tall man said finally. "Something tangible that shows your commitment to peace and cooperation." Emily nodded. "What kind of proof do you need?" The man paused, thinking. "Give us access to your medical technology. Let us use it to help people in our communities. If we see that it's real, that it's truly beneficial, then maybe we can start to trust you." Zorak inclined his head. "Done. We will provide you with everything you need. You will see for yourselves the potential of our technology." The leaders exchanged wary glances but nodded in agreement. "We'll hold you to that," the woman said. "This is your chance to prove you're not here to conquer us." As they headed back to the facility, Emily felt a cautious optimism. It was a small step, but a significant one. They had opened a line of communication and taken the first steps toward building trust. Back at the facility, the team quickly mobilized to provide the requested medical technology. As the days passed, reports came in from the Earth First Movement's communities, showing real improvements in health and quality of life. Slowly but surely, the initial hostility began to fade. Emily and Zorak continued their work, determined to prove that peace and cooperation were possible. The road ahead was still fraught with challenges, but they were not alone. They had allies in unexpected places and a growing belief that together they could build a better future for both species. As the sun set on another day, Emily looked out over the city, feeling a sense of hope she hadn't felt in a long time. "We're making progress," she said softly to Zorak. "Yes," Zorak replied, his eyes reflecting the fading light. "One step at a time, we will create a future where trust and peace prevail." The journey was far from over, but Emily knew they were on the right path, and with allies like Zorak, she was confident they could overcome any obstacle that lay ahead. The initial success with the Earth First movement did wonders for the broader public perception of the aliens. News outlets buzzed with stories of the transformative effects of the shared technology. Communities that had once been hotbeds of suspicion and fear were now benefiting from the aliens' advanced medical treatments and clean energy solutions. The tide seemed to be turning, but Emily and Zorak knew better than to rest easy. One evening, as Emily and Zorak were reviewing the latest reports in the facility's control room, a sudden alert blared across the screens. It was an emergency broadcast from the United Nations. "Attention!" the stern-faced announcer said. "There has been a breach in our global defense network. Unidentified entities have infiltrated several key sites. We are urging all nations to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities immediately." Emily's heart pounded. She turned to Zorak, whose expression mirrored her concern. "What do you think this means?" she asked. Zorak's eyes narrowed. "We need more information. This could be a coordinated attack or a misunderstanding. Let's contact General Harris." Within minutes, they were on a secure video call with General Harris. His face was grim. "We have reports of multiple incursions at strategic locations. We suspect these entities are not from the Galactic Union." Emily's mind raced. Could there be another alien faction we're unaware of? "It's possible," Zorak replied. "But it's also possible that these are rogue elements within your own world, using advanced technology for their purposes." General Harris nodded. "We need to act fast. We're mobilizing our forces, but we could use your help, Zorak." "I'll do whatever I can," Zorak said. As they prepared to respond to the crisis, an urgent message came through from one of the infiltrated sites. The screen flickered, revealing a shadowy figure in a dimly lit room. "We demand the immediate withdrawal of all alien entities from Earth," the figure said, their voice distorted. "Failure to comply will result in catastrophic consequences." Emily felt a chill run down her spine. "Who are you? What do you want?" she asked, stepping closer to the screen. "We are the Vanguard," the figure replied. "We believe that your alien allies are here to enslave humanity. We will not stand by and let that happen." Zorak stepped forward, his voice calm and steady. "We are here in peace. We have no intention of enslaving anyone. We only wish to share knowledge and technology for the betterment of all." The figure scoffed. "Empty words. We've seen what happens when powerful entities claim to come in peace. We won't be fooled." Before they could respond, the transmission cut off, leaving the room in tense silence. Emily turned to Zorak. We need to find these people and stop them before they cause real harm. General Harris nodded. Agreed. We're tracking their signal, but it's encrypted. It'll take time to pinpoint their location. Zorak's eyes glowed with determination. In the meantime, we should fortify our defenses and reach out to all our allies. We need to show the vanguard that we are united and resolute. The following days were a blur of activity. Emily, Zorak, and their team worked tirelessly to bolster security and rally support from the global community. Governments, inspired by the recent success with the Earth First movement, began to cooperate more closely, sharing resources and intelligence. Despite the heightened security, the vanguard managed to stage several small attacks, causing widespread panic. Each time, however, Zorak's advanced technology helped mitigate the damage, and the public's faith in their alien allies grew stronger. One night, as Emily and Zorak were reviewing the latest security footage, a breakthrough came through from the tech team. "We found them," one of the analysts announced. "They're operating out of an abandoned military bunker in the mountains." General Harris immediately organized a strike team, including Emily and Zorak. "We need to handle this delicately," he said. "Our goal is to apprehend, not to provoke further violence." As they approached the bunker, tension hung in the air. The team moved silently through the darkness, surrounding the entrance. With a signal from General Harris, they breached the bunker, swiftly and efficiently securing the area. Inside, they found the vanguard's leaders, surprised and outnumbered. Emily stepped forward. "It's over. We don't want to hurt you. We want to understand why you're doing this." The tall man from the earlier meeting with the Earth First movement stood among the vanguard's leaders, his face a mix of defiance and resignation. "We don't trust you," he spat. "You're naive if you think they're here to help us." Zorak moved beside Emily, his voice soothing. "Our actions have always been transparent. We have shared our technology freely without demands or conditions. We seek mutual growth." The man shook his head. "We've heard that before, but how do we know you won't change? Power corrupts." Emily stepped closer. "Trust isn't built overnight, but look around you. The world is changing for the better because of what we're doing together. Give peace a chance." The room fell silent as the vanguard's leaders absorbed her words. Slowly, the tension began to ease. The tall man lowered his weapon, his shoulders slumping. "We'll stand down, for now, but we'll be watching." With the immediate threat neutralized, Emily and Zorak knew their work was far from over. But they had taken another crucial step toward building a world where humans and aliens could coexist peacefully. As they left the bunker, the first light of dawn breaking over the mountains, Emily felt a renewed sense of hope. "We're making progress," she said softly. Zorak nodded. "One step at a time. Together, we will build a future based on trust and cooperation." The journey was long and fraught with challenges, but Emily knew they were moving in the right direction. With Zorak and their growing network of allies, they were prepared to face whatever came next.